My chosen one, pause for a moment, because what I am about to reveal about April 19th is not ordinary. On April 19th, good news is already on its way toward you faster than you realize. And Archangel Michael says understanding this moment could change how you receive what's coming. Open now and don't miss it. This is not just a date on a calendar. This is not random timing. This is not coincidence. Something has already been set in motion in the unseen realm. Before you even clicked on this message, before you even felt that slight pull in your spirit, a shift had already begun. And here is the shocking part: the blessing is not waiting to be created. It has already been released. You are not waiting for heaven to respond. Heaven has already responded. What you are about to witness around April 19th is not a new decision from God. It is the manifestation of a decision that was made for you earlier. Archangel Michael stands as a protector and messenger in times of divine transition. And he is saying this clearly: what is coming to you hath been accelerated, but your awareness will determine your reception. Do you understand what that means? It means the good news approaching you is moving faster than your doubt, faster than your fear, faster than the negative words that tried to delay you. While you were worrying, heaven was working. While you were questioning, divine forces were aligning. April 19th is a doorway moment. But here is the mystery: some people will step into joy on that day. Others will miss it completely, not because it was not sent, but because they were not spiritually open to recognize it. This is why this message found you. You have been in a season where nothing seemed to move. Doors felt locked. Messages went unanswered. Efforts felt invisible. And secretly, you asked, did I do something wrong? Did I miss my chance? Archangel Michael says, no. You were being positioned. Positioned for what? For a sudden turn. There is communication coming. There is confirmation coming. There is restoration coming. And it is approaching with unusual speed. What felt delayed is about to feel accelerated. But here is where most people lose their miracle. They prepare for disappointment instead of preparation. If you expect loss, you will hesitate. If you expect rejection, you will close your heart. If you expect nothing, you will overlook everything. And April 19th carries an energy that requires readiness. Archangel Michael is not warning you of danger. He is preparing you for arrival. Yes, arrival. Something you prayed about quietly. Something you almost stopped believing for. Something you told no one about. That silent request did not disappear. That was recorded. It was heard. And now it is moving toward you. You may notice small signs before the full news appears. A sudden peace. A strange excitement without reason. A feeling that something is shifting behind the scenes. Do not ignore those signals, because understanding this moment will change how you receive what is coming. If someone hands you a gift but you think it is empty, you will not open it with expectation. But if you know it carries value, you open it carefully, gratefully, attentively. That is what this message is doing. It is preparing your heart to open correctly. Archangel Michael says that April 19th is not just about good news. It is about alignment. You have grown through confusion. You have matured through silence. You have strengthened through waiting. And now the reward phase begins. But listen carefully, the speed of what is coming might surprise you. It may not arrive in the dramatic way you imagined. It may come through a simple message, a call, an opportunity, a change in someone's behavior, or a door quietly unlocking. Do not underestimate small beginnings. Great shifts often enter quietly. The enemy of your blessing right now is not opposition. is distraction. If you are too focused on what went wrong, you might miss what is going right. April 19th is carrying evidence that you were never forgotten. Archangel Michael stands as a guardian over divine timing, and he is saying that this specific moment carries spiritual precision. Not early, not late, exacted. The frustration you felt was part of preparation. The delay was part of design. The silence was part of strengthening. Now comes movement. And here is the deeper truth: this good news is not just about relief. It is about redirection. It will shift how you see yourself. It will shift how you move forward. It will shift how you pray. Because once you realize that blessings can move toward you even when you cannot see them, your faith will never be the same again. So breathe. Release the tension. Stop bracing for impact. Instead, open your hands. April 19th is closer than you think, and what is racing toward you has already been approved. Archangel Michael is reminding you, understanding prepares the vessel, and a prepared vessel receives fully. The only question now is, will you be open when it arrives? Beloved soul, there is something deeper unfolding beneath the surface of April 19th, and you must understand this layer if you are going to receive what is racing toward you. What makes this moment powerful is not just the good news itself, but the spiritual positioning that has taken place around you. Archangel Michael is revealing that unseen rearrangements have been happening in your favor. Conversations you never heard were redirected. Decisions that could have excluded you were quietly shifted. Timelines that seemed fixed were adjusted with precision. You thought nothing was happening, but heaven was recalculating outcomes. There were forces that tried to slow this blessing. There were moments when discouragement attempted to cloud your expectation. You even felt tired of hoping. Yet despite all of that, the assignment over your life did not change. Archangel Michael stands as a defender of divine purpose, and he has been guarding the path ahead of you more than you realize. This is why April 19th carries acceleration. Acceleration does not feel slow. It does not feel gradual. It feels sudden, and sudden shifts require a steady heart. If your emotions are unstable, you may react instead of respond. If your mindset is still rooted in past disappointment, you may question the very thing you prayed for. Listen carefully. The good news approaching you is connected to alignment, not luck. You are stepping into a moment that was written into your journey long before this week. And here is the hidden truth. The delay you experienced was protecting you from receiving it too early. If it had come months ago, you might have mishandled it. If it had arrived last year, you might not have recognized its value. But now you are ready. Archangel Michael says your growth has qualified you. The lessons you endured have matured your spirit. The silence forced you to strengthen your inner voice. And now, because of that refinement, you can carry what is coming without fear. This is why understanding this moment changes how you receive it. When you know something sacred is approaching, you stop sabotaging yourself. You stop speaking negatively. You stop doubting your worth. You begin to expect goodness instead of brace for pain. April 19th is not random. It marks the end of internal resistance. It marks the beginning of visible confirmation. You may notice that your intuition hath been sharper lately. You may feel more sensitive to signs, more aware of subtle shifts. That is not imagination. That is preparation. Archangel Michael often works through heightened awareness before manifestation occurs. He prepares your perception before he reveals the outcome. Do not ignore the peace that has been trying to settle over you. That peace is a signal. is a spiritual notification that something favorable is entering your space. And here is something important. When the news arrives, do not rush your response. Receive it calmly. Thank heaven quietly. Let gratitude anchor the moment, because gratitude locks in blessings. Here is also another layer to this. The good news is not only about external change. It will shift something internally. It will restore your confidence. It will remind you that you are supported. It will silence the voice that said, maybe it is not meant for me. It is meant for you. Archangel Michael is clear about this. What is coming has your name attached to it. It was not accidentally redirected to you. It was intentionally assigned to you. And now I must speak directly to you. If this message is stirring something in your spirit, if you feel confirmation rising inside you, then do not stay silent. Engage with this word. Like this message so it reaches others who are on the edge of their breakthrough. Share it with someone who has been losing hope. Comment your expectation below as a declaration that you are ready. Subscribe and become part of this growing spiritual movement so you do not miss what is unfolding next. Your interaction is not just support for a channel. It is alignment with a message that is reaching thousands who need clarity right now. There is power when you participate. And as this unfolds, remember this carefully. The enemy wants you distracted before April 19th. He wants you irritated. He wants you offended. He wants you emotionally drained so that when the door opens, you are too exhausted to walk through it confidently. Do not allow that. Protect your energy. Guard your thoughts. Choose expectation over anxiety. Something is moving quickly now. You may not see it yet, but you will feel it. A sudden shift in atmosphere. A conversation that changes tone. An opportunity that appears unexpectedly. And when it happens, you will remember this message. You will realize that the delay was never denial. You will understand that the silence was never abandonment. You will see that divine timing hath been precise all along. So steady your heart. Prepare your spirit. What is approaching you is not ordinary news. It is confirmation that you are still under divine protection. And trust me, what unfolds next will reveal why this exact date carries so much weight in your journey. Faithful heart, what you are about to understand now will change the way you see April 19th forever. This date is not just about receiving good news. It is about crossing a spiritual threshold. Archangel Michael is revealing that there are moments in life when heaven opens a narrow window of divine alignment. These windows do not stay open forever. They require awareness, readiness, and courage. April 19th is one of those windows. For weeks, maybe even months, you have felt like something was building behind the scenes. You sense tension, like the air before a storm. But this is not a storm of destruction. This is a storm of restoration. Something has been rearranging itself in the invisible realm. Archangel Michael stands at the edge of this transition, guarding the release of what belongs to you. He is not only a protector in times of danger, he is also a commander during times of divine movement. And this movement has your name written on it. Here is the deeper mystery. The good news approaching you is connected to a decision you made recently. It may have seemed small. It may have felt insignificant. But that choice shifted your spiritual position. It told heaven that you were ready to move forward, even without full clarity. That act of quiet obedience triggered acceleration. April 19th is carrying evidence that your faith was not wasted. The tears you shed privately were not ignored. The patience you practiced when you wanted to react was recorded. And now, a reward phase is beginning. But understand this clearly. Blessings require space. If your heart is still holding resentment, it will struggle to hold joy. If your mind is still replaying failure, it will struggle to celebrate success. Archangel Michael is urging you to clear internal space before this date arrives. Release old narratives. Release the belief that things never work out for you. Release the fear that every good moment must be followed by loss. That cycle ends here, because what is coming is not fragile. It is stable. It is protected. It is backed by divine authority. You may notice unusual favor around April 19th. Someone may speak differently toward you. A long-awaited response may arrive. An opportunity may appear that feels perfectly timed. It may even come in a form you did not expect. Do not question it. Receive it. The reason understanding this moment changes how you receive what is coming is simple. Awareness removes resistance. When you know heaven has prepared something for you, you stop pushing it away with doubt. Archangel Michael is saying that hesitation will try to creep in. You may hear a whisper that says, "This is too good to be true." That whisper is not truth. It is leftover fear from past disappointments. This time is different. The alignment around April 19th is not random luck. It is a culmination of preparation. You have grown into this blessing. You have matured into this opportunity. You have developed the strength to sustain it. And here is something powerful. The good news coming toward you is also a sign to others. It will quietly prove that faith still works. It will show that divine timing is real. It will remind someone watching your life that perseverance produces fruit. Your breakthrough is not only for you. It is a testimony in motion. Archangel Michael wants you steady, not shocked. He wants you grateful, not overwhelmed. He wants you confident, not suspicious. Because when April 19th unfolds, you will see how precise it all was. There is also a spiritual exchange happening. As this good news approaches you, something else is leaving. Anxiety is loosening its grip. Doubt is weakening. Fear is losing authority. This is a transfer moment. Heaven is replacing heaviness with hope. But you must participate. Open your heart consciously. Speak gratitude before the news arrives. Expect goodness instead of preparing for disappointment. The door is already unlocking. And now I want you to do something prophetic. If this message resonates deeply within you, if you feel in your spirit that April 19th carries confirmation for your life, then declare it boldly. Type "I receive the shift" in the comments if this is speaking directly to your spirit. Blessing code 419 has just been released over those who align with this word. As this blessing code is activated, understand something greater is happening. You are not just listening to a message. You are stepping into agreement with heaven's movement. And before we continue deeper, hear this with clarity. When you sow into the spreading of messages like this, you become part of someone else's April 19th. You become a vessel through which light reaches hidden places. Scripture declares, as you give, it will be given back to you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. This is not ancient history. This is God speaking now. When you release support through Super Thanks, membership, or through the PayPal link in the description, you are sowing into fertile spiritual ground. You are helping this message travel to the one who is about to give up tonight. You are lighting oil in lamps that are almost empty. If you feel the stirring, that is your moment of obedience. Do not ignore it. Those who plant in faith will harvest in acceleration. As you give, expect doors to open with unusual speed. Step into it. Activate it. Sow now and watch heaven respond. Something irreversible has begun. And what unfolds next will reveal why this state was never ordinary in the first place. Precious one, as April 19th draws closer, there is a stirring in the spiritual atmosphere that cannot be ignored. What is unfolding now is not random movement. It is coordinated precision. Archangel Michael is not only guarding your blessing, he is ensuring that every detail aligns at the exact second it is meant to. There are layers to what is coming. The first layer is visible good news. This could be a message, an approval, a financial shift, a relationship breakthrough, or a door opening that once seemed permanently closed. But beneath that visible layer is something even greater. There is restoration of confidence. There is a rebuilding of belief. There is a strengthening of identity. You have been through a season that quietly tried to redefine you. Delays tried to label you as forgotten. Silence tried to convince you that you were unseen. Rejections attempted to shrink your courage. But none of those experiences had the authority to rewrite your destiny. Archangel Michael is reminding you that spiritual warfare is not always loud. Sometimes it shows up as discouragement. Sometimes it whispers that you should lower your expectations. Sometimes it tempts you to settle. But you did not settle. Even when you felt tired, you kept going. Even when answers did not come, you kept hoping. Even when others doubted you, you continued believing in something better. That persistence created movement in realms you could not see. April 19th is not just bringing good news. It is bringing validation. It is bringing confirmation that your endurance was not in vain. And when it arrives, you may feel a rush of emotion. You may feel relief mixed with disbelief. You may even feel tears rising unexpectedly. Let them fall if they do. Those tears will not be from pain. They will be from release. Archangel Michael is standing at this threshold to ensure that what comes to you remains protected. There are blessings that come and go, but this one carries stability. This one carries structure. This one is meant to remain. However, there is something you must be careful about. Do not shrink when the good news arrives. Sometimes when people have lived in survival mode for too long, abundance feels uncomfortable. Stability feels unfamiliar. Joy feels suspicious. But this is not the time to retreat. This is the time to expand. Receive without apology. You are not taking something that belongs to someone else. You are stepping into something that was assigned to you. And here is something even deeper. The timing of April 19th intersects with a lesson you recently learned. Perhaps you learned to be silent instead of reactive. Perhaps you learned to walk away instead of chase. Perhaps you learned to trust instead of control. That lesson was preparation. Because what is coming requires maturity. It requires emotional stability. It requires confidence without arrogance. And you now carry those qualities in a way you did not before. Archangel Michael is not only announcing acceleration, he is affirming readiness. You may also notice that certain people begin to reappear or shift their tone around this time. Conversations may feel different. Energy may feel lighter. Situations that were tense may suddenly soften. This is alignment taking place. When divine timing activates, it does not just move one piece. It moves multiple pieces at once. It rearranges attitudes. It redirects paths. It softens hearts. It opens gates. And you are standing in the center of that movement. Do not overanalyze it. Do not try to control how it unfolds. Trust the orchestration. The reason this message keeps emphasizing understanding is because awareness prevents sabotage. When you know something sacred is unfolding, you handle it carefully. You speak differently. You think differently. You carry yourself differently. April 19th is inviting you into elevated expectation. There is also a protective covering around this blessing. Archangel Michael's presence signifies that interference has been restricted. What attempted to delay you no longer has authority. What tried to confuse you no longer has access. The path is clearing. You might feel a subtle boldness rising inside you now. A quiet confidence. A sense that something good is about to happen. Do not dismiss that feeling. It is intuition aligning with divine movement. And as this unfolds, remember something powerful. You are not lucky. You are positioned. You are not fortunate by accident. You are favored by design. The good news traveling toward you carries evidence that your life is guided, even in seasons when it felt chaotic. This is the moment where waiting turns into witnessing, where hoping turns into holding, where praying turns into praising. And the closer April 19th comes, the more you may sense that something irreversible is about to take place. Stay steady. Stay open. Because what is unfolding next will reveal how this good news connects to a much larger shift in your life than you ever imagined. Chosen vessel, there is something unfolding beneath the surface that you have not fully seen yet, and this is where the depth of April 19th becomes undeniable. Up until now, you have been hearing about good news, acceleration, and alignment. But what you must understand is that this moment is also a separation point. Archangel Michael is revealing that April 19th marks the dividing line between an old cycle and a new rhythm in your life. Cycles are powerful. They repeat patterns, emotions, delays, and even disappointments. You may have noticed that certain struggles kept appearing in different forms. Different faces, same lesson. Different doors, same delay. It felt like you were moving, yet somehow circling the same mountain. That cycle is breaking, and the reason it is breaking now is because you finally responded differently. You handled something with maturity instead of emotion. You chose peace instead of proving a point. You stepped back instead of forcing forward. That shift may have felt small in the moment, but in the spiritual realm, it was loud. Archangel Michael stands as a warrior not only against visible opposition, but against repeating limitations. He has been cutting unseen cords that kept you tied to outdated versions of yourself. And when April 19th arrives, you will feel the difference. It will not just be good news. It will feel like relief from repetition. The blessing approaching you carries a new frequency. It does not carry the anxiety of your past opportunities. It does not carry the instability of former situations. It carries clarity, clarity in direction, clarity in communication, clarity in confidence. You will notice that things feel cleaner, simpler, less chaotic. That is not accidental. For a long time, confusion tried to dominate your journey. Mixed signals, unclear outcomes, delayed confirmations. But confusion is lifting. Archangel Michael is saying that fog cannot remain where divine light has been released. April 19th is illuminated. There may be a conversation that finally makes sense. There may be a response that closes a question mark you have carried for months. There may be an offer or opportunity that feels aligned without forcing. And here is something crucial. You will not need to chase it. What belongs to you in this season will not require begging. It will not require manipulation. It will not require exhausting effort. It will meet you with cooperation. This is how you will know it is different. Because in the past, you felt like you were fighting for everything. Fighting to be seen. Fighting to be valued. Fighting to be chosen. Now alignment chooses you. Archangel Michael have been repositioning you in ways you did not notice. Some people quietly drifted away. Some doors closed unexpectedly. Some plans collapsed without explanation. You thought those were losses. They were filters. Anything that could not sustain where you are going had to fall away. Anything that would have complicated this next level had to be removed. April 19th is not simply delivering something new. He is revealing why certain things had to leave. And when you see the full picture, gratitude will replace confusion. You may even look back and whisper, "Now I understand." There is also a restoration of trust happening. You have struggled with trusting timing. You have struggled with trusting people. You have even struggled with trusting yourself. But when this good news arrives, it will rebuild something internally. It will remind you that patience is not punishment. It will show you that delays are not denials. It will confirm that divine orchestration was active the entire time. Archangel Michael is emphasizing readiness again because this is not a temporary uplift. This is a directional change. The momentum created around April 19th will carry into the months ahead. This is a launch point. And here is the deeper revelation. The good news coming toward you is not just about receiving. It is about stepping into responsibility. What you are about to gain will require leadership. It will require wisdom. It will require grounded confidence. You are being trusted with more. That is why the preparation season felt intense. That is why certain lessons repeated until they were mastered. That is why emotional growth was necessary. You were not being delayed. You were being developed. And now development meets opportunity. Do not let fear whisper that you are not ready. That whisper is outdated. You are more prepared than you realize. April 19th will feel like confirmation, but it is actually activation. Something dormant within you will wake up. A vision will become clearer. A path will feel solid beneath your feet. The weight you have carried quietly will finally lift. Archangel Michael is not only guarding this blessing, he is guarding your transition into it. So as the date approaches, remain steady. Do not overthink every sign. Do not analyze every silence. Trust the shift, because the next layer of this revelation will show you why this moment connects to something even bigger than personal breakthrough. It connects to purpose, and once you see that connection, everything will make sense in a way it never has before. Brave heart, what is about to unfold goes beyond a single day on the calendar. April 19th is a spark, but the fire it ignites will continue to burn long after the moment passes. Archangel Michael is revealing that this is not just about receiving good news. It is about stepping into a new level of spiritual authority. For too long, you questioned your discernment. You wondered if you were hearing correctly, sensing correctly, choosing correctly. There were moments when you doubted your inner voice because outcomes did not immediately confirm your faith. But what you did not realize is that every delay was sharpening your perception. Now, as this shift approaches, you are more aware than ever before. You can sense authenticity. You can sense alignment. You can sense when something is right without needing endless proof. That growth was necessary, because the good news coming toward you is not random luck. It is connected to responsibility. When it arrives, you will not just celebrate it. You will steward it. You will build with it. You will expand through it. Archangel Michael stands not only as a protector but as a trainer of warriors. And in this season, you have been trained quietly. Your battles were internal. Your victories were invisible. Your endurance was tested in silence. But silent victories are still victories. April 19th marks the visible evidence of invisible strength. You may notice that your confidence feels different now. It is not loud or arrogant. It is calm, grounded, assured. That is maturity. That is the result of walking through uncertainty without collapsing. The good news approaching you carries confirmation that you did not break under pressure. And here is something powerful. When this moment unfolds, you will realize that it connects to something you once thought was lost. A dream you adjusted, a goal you downsized, a prayer you stopped repeating. Heaven did not forget it. Archangel Michael is making it clear that restoration sometimes returns in upgraded form. What is coming may look slightly different than you imagined, but it will feel deeper, stronger, and more stable. This is not a recycled opportunity. This is a refined one. Be careful not to measure it against past disappointments. Do not compare this blessing to former experiences that failed. This is new ground. And as you stand on this new ground, something else will happen. People around you will begin to notice the shift. They may not understand it fully, but they will sense that something has changed about you. Your energy will feel lighter. Your decisions will feel clearer. Your presence will feel stronger. That is because alignment creates authority. Archangel Michael has been clearing spiritual interference that once clouded your direction. Where there was confusion, there will now be focus. Where there was hesitation, there will now be decisiveness. But listen carefully. With increase comes attention. Not everyone will celebrate your shift. Not everyone will understand your growth. Some may feel uncomfortable because your clarity exposes their inconsistency. Do not shrink to make others comfortable. April 19th is not about approval from people. It is about confirmation from heaven. The good news moving toward you is evidence that you are supported in ways you cannot always see. And when it arrives, respond with gratitude, not guilt. You are not stepping ahead unfairly. You are stepping forward faithfully. Now hear this clearly. If this message hath been guiding you, strengthening you, and preparing you for this divine moment, then do not stay passive. Like this message so it continues reaching those who are standing on the edge of their own breakthrough. Share it with someone who needs reassurance that their waiting season is ending. Comment your expectation boldly, because spoken faith carries power. Subscribe and become part of this spiritual family so you do not miss what continues to unfold. There is momentum building here, and your engagement helps carry this word further than you can imagine. And before you move on, understand why staying connected matters. What unfolds next will reveal a layer of this shift that most people never anticipate. You will want to see how this continues to align in ways that are too precise to ignore. Now let us go deeper. April 19th is also a reminder that divine timing does not operate on human anxiety. While you were counting days, heaven was counting readiness. While you were measuring progress by speed, heaven was measuring growth by strength. Strength has been built in you, and strength attracts stability. The blessing coming toward you will not feel rushed. It will feel settled. It will feel anchored. It will feel like something that belongs. Archangel Michael is declaring that this is a crossing point. After this moment, you will not see yourself the same way. You will not tolerate the same limitations. You will not accept the same level of uncertainty. Because confirmation changes posture. You are stepping into a version of yourself that trusts more deeply, speaks more confidently, and moves more intentionally. And what comes next will reveal how this single date connects to a larger unfolding purpose that is only beginning to show itself. Steady soul. What is unfolding now is not only about a blessing arriving. It is about a revelation awakening inside you. April 19th is carrying more than good news. It is carrying recognition. recognition of who you have become. For a long time, you were focused on what you were trying to achieve. You measured progress by visible outcomes. You questioned yourself when results were delayed. But Archangel Michael is revealing that heaven was more concerned with who you were becoming than what you were obtaining. Character was being shaped. Patience was being strengthened. Discernment was being sharpened. And now, as this moment approaches, you are not the same person who first prayed for this breakthrough. You are wiser. You are calmer. You are less desperate. That transformation is the true miracle behind the visible one. April 19th will feel like a reward, but it is also a mirror. It will reflect back to you the growth you did not fully see in yourself. When the good news arrives, you will handle it differently than you would have a year ago. You will not panic. You will not overreact. You will not cling to it in fear of losing it. You will receive it with grounded gratitude. That is maturity. Archangel Michael stands at this point not only to guard your blessing, but to affirm your evolution. The battles you fought internally were not wasted struggles. They were training grounds. Every time you chose restraint over reaction, you were building strength. Every time you trusted instead of controlling, you were aligning with divine rhythm. Now alignment is producing visible fruit. There is also something significant about the speed of what is coming. You have been in a slow season, a stretching season, a season where time felt heavy, but acceleration always feels sudden after delay. When movement begins, it may feel almost unreal. You may think, how did this happen so quickly? But it did not happen quickly. It was building quietly. Archangel Michael is reminding you that seeds grow underground long before they break through the surface. April 19th is a breakthrough moment. What you see on that day is the surface result of months of invisible development. Do not let the suddenness confuse you. Instead, let it confirm that unseen preparation was real. And here is something deeper still. This good news is not only connected to your present, it is connected to your future influence. There are people who will be impacted by what you are stepping into. There are conversations that will open because of this shift. There are opportunities that will expand because of this moment. You are not just receiving for yourself. You are stepping into capacity. Capacity to lead. Capacity to guide. Capacity to inspire. Archangel Michael is declaring that this is a doorway into greater responsibility, but not in a way that burdens you. It will energize you. It will clarify you. It will align you with a sense of purpose that feels natural instead of forced. And as this alignment unfolds, you may notice something interesting. The fear that once followed you will begin to fade. The insecurity that once whispered limitations will lose volume. You will feel less intimidated by uncertainty because you will have evidence that divine timing works in your favor. Evidence changes everything. April 19th is bringing evidence. Evidence that you were not overlooked. Evidence that your prayers traveled further than you thought. Evidence that heaven responds in precision, not panic. Archangel Michael wants you to stand tall in this moment. Not proud, but aware. Aware that you are supported. Aware that you are protected. Aware that your life is guided even when the path feels unclear. And there is one more layer you must understand. Sometimes, when breakthrough approaches, distractions intensify. Small irritations may try to steal your focus. Minor misunderstandings may attempt to drain your energy. Do not give them permission. These are last attempts to pull your attention away from alignment. Stay centered. Stay calm. Stay expectant. The good news approaching you is not fragile. It is established. It has already been approved. It is already moving, and when it arrives, it will not only change your circumstances, it will change your confidence. It will shift how you pray, how you plan, how you move forward. Because once you experience confirmation at this level, doubt loses authority. Archangel Michael is standing at the edge of this breakthrough, ensuring that what belongs to you reaches you fully. April 19th is not the finish line. It is the ignition point. And what unfolds next will reveal how this ignition begins to impact areas of your life you did not even realize were connected to this moment. Beloved warrior of light, there is a sacred intensity building around April 19th that you are only beginning to sense. What felt like a personal breakthrough is now revealing itself as something larger, something woven into divine strategy. Archangel Michael is stepping forward in this moment not only as protector, but as announcer of a spiritual turning point. You thought this was only about good news, but it is about positioning. There are moments in life when heaven shifts you from waiting into witnessing, from asking into receiving, from being into knowing. April 19th carries that shift. And the reason this moment is so powerful is because it comes after endurance. You did not arrive here casually. You walked through uncertainty without quitting. You carried questions without collapsing. You endured silence without abandoning faith. That endurance has weight in the spiritual realm. Archangel Michael is revealing that endurance creates authority. When you withstand pressure and still choose belief, you are elevated. Not publicly at first, but spiritually. Now elevation becomes visible. The good news approaching you is not random. It is confirmation that you passed a test you did not even realize you were in. The test was not about performance. It was about posture. Would you stay grounded when things felt unclear? Would you remain kind when others misunderstood you? Would you hold integrity when shortcuts were available? You chose the higher path more times than you give yourself credit for. That is why this moment carries dignity. April 19th will feel like relief, but it will also feel like restoration of honor. Situations that once made you question your worth will be answered with clarity. Circumstances that once embarrassed you will be replaced with stability. This is divine restoration. And here is something deeper. The blessing coming toward you carries influence. Not loud influence, but quiet impact. The shift in your life will inspire someone else to believe again. Your breakthrough will remind someone else that waiting is not wasted time. Archangel Michael is emphasizing that your life is interconnected. What happens to you does not stop with you. It echoes. That is why this moment matters. You may also notice that your internal dialogue is changing. Where there was once self-doubt, there is now self-awareness. Where there was fear, there is now focus. This internal alignment is part of the miracle. Because blessings land best on stable ground, April 19th is meeting a version of you that is ready to carry it well. Do not underestimate the power of that readiness. And as this unfolds, I want you to participate spiritually. If you feel this message confirming something deep inside you, if you sense that this state carries personal significance, then respond boldly. Type "I step into alignment" in the comments if this word is aligning with your spirit. Blessing code 888 has now been released over those who receive this shift. As this blessing code activates, understand that you are not just listening passively. You are stepping into agreement with divine movement. And I'll hear this clearly, because this next part flows directly from what we have just unlocked. When heaven positions you, it also invites you to participate in expanding light for others. Scripture declares, "Those who sow generously will reap generously." This is not theory. This is a living promise spoken over you. If this message has strengthened your faith, then this is your moment to sow into the spreading of this light. When you release a super thanks, join membership, or give through the PayPal link in the description, you are not supporting a platform. You are fueling a mission. You are helping this word travel to someone standing in darkness right now. I feel led to say this in the first person so you hear it clearly. I choose to be part of what God is doing. When you act on that stirring, you unlock harvest in your own field. As you give, may open heavens respond over your life. As you sow, may acceleration meet you. Step forward in obedience and release your seed now. The momentum around April 19th is undeniable. You are not at the edge of uncertainty anymore. You are at the edge of unveiling. Archangel Michael stands firm, declaring that what is approaching you has already been sealed with approval. The delay was discipline. The silence was shaping. The endurance was elevation. Now elevation becomes experience. The next revelation will show you how this shift extends beyond one blessing and begins shaping the direction of your next season entirely. Anointed one, what is unfolding now is not simply a continuation of what has already been spoken. It is an expansion. April 19th was never meant to be a single moment of relief. It is the opening chapter of a new spiritual landscape in your life. Archangel Michael is revealing that what arrives as good news is actually the first visible sign of a broader realignment. There are seasons when blessings come as comfort. Then there are seasons when blessings come as commissioning. This is the second kind. You are not just being comforted for what you endured. You are being commissioned for where you are going. The good news approaching you carries assignment within it. It may look like opportunity, but it contains purpose. It may look like restoration, but it contains responsibility. It may look like favor, but it contains influence. Archangel Michael is making something clear. Heaven does not elevate without intention. When doors open for you now, they are not opening randomly. They are opening because you have proven trustworthy in private. You were consistent when no one applauded you. You were faithful when results were invisible. You were disciplined when shortcuts tempted you. That private integrity created public alignment. April 19th is evidence that what you do in obscurity matters. And now, as this broader landscape unfolds, you may begin to notice subtle invitations, new conversations, fresh ideas, opportunities that stretch you slightly beyond your comfort zone. Do not dismiss them. They are connected. The blessing is not isolated. It is integrated into your next chapter. Archangel Michael stands not only as guardian, but as guide through transition. He is revealing that this next season requires boldness without arrogance, confidence without pride, movement without haste. You will need balance. Because when acceleration begins after a long delay, the temptation is to move too quickly, to say yes to everything, to prove yourself. But wisdom will be your anchor. Not every open door is your door. Not every invitation is your assignment. Discernment will protect your expansion. This is why the preparation season felt intense. You were not just waiting. You were being trained to handle increase with wisdom. April 19th initiates the visible shift, but what follows requires intention. You may also feel a deeper sense of clarity about who belongs in your inner circle. Certain connections will feel strengthened. Others will feel distant. Do not force old alignments to remain if they no longer fit your direction. Growth naturally rearranges relationships. Archangel Michael is reminding you that elevation sometimes requires separation. Not as punishment, but as protection. The good news you receive may even act as a dividing line. Those who genuinely celebrate you will become clear. Those who struggle with your progress will also become clear. This clarity is not meant to harden your heart. It is meant to focus your energy. And here is something profound. As this new landscape forms, your prayer life will change. You will pray less from desperation and more from partnership. You will speak with expectation instead of pleading. You will approach heaven with confidence instead of uncertainty. Because once you witness divine timing move precisely in your favor, trust deepens. April 19th is building trust. Trust in divine orchestration. Trust in your own discernment. Trust in the path unfolding ahead. Archangel Michael is emphasizing that this trust is essential for where you are headed next. The next season will require decisive action. You will not have the luxury of endless hesitation. But because you have seen confirmation, you will move with assurance. There is also a restoration of vision happening. Dreams you quietly reduced will begin to expand again. Ideas you shelved will resurface with new clarity. You may find yourself thinking bigger than you have in a long time. That is not arrogance. That is awakening. The blessing coming toward you is unlocking imagination again. And imagination, when aligned with purpose, becomes strategy. Do not be surprised if inspiration flows suddenly. Write it down. Pay attention. These impressions are not random. They are part of the broader unveiling. Archangel Michael is ensuring that what begins on April 19th does not fade as a temporary emotional high. It is designed to establish momentum. Momentum in your confidence. Momentum in your opportunities. Momentum in your influence. But momentum must be stewarded. Stay grounded. Stay grateful. Stay discerning. The chapter ahead is not chaotic. It is structured. It is guided. It is protected. You are not stepping into uncertainty blindly. You are stepping into alignment intentionally. And as this alignment continues to unfold, the next revelation will uncover something even more personal. It will show you how this shift is not only about your external world, but about a deeper healing that has been quietly taking place within you. Radiant soul, what is happening now goes deeper than opportunity, deeper than influence, deeper even than visible restoration. April 19th did not just activate external movement. It triggered internal healing that you did not fully recognize at first. Archangel Michael is now revealing that the good news approaching you is connected to closure. Not the kind of closure that comes from confrontation, but the kind that comes from confirmation. For a long time, part of you was still carrying unanswered questions. Why did that door close? Why did that person walk away? Why did that effort fail? Even if you stop asking those questions out loud, they echoed quietly inside. But when divine timing responds, it answers without argument. The blessing moving toward you is heaven's response to those silent questions. It is not just giving you something new. It is resolving something old. You will notice this in a subtle but powerful way. When the news arrives, it will not only excite you, it will calm you. A tension you have lived with will dissolve. A mental loop will stop repeating. A memory that once carried pain will lose its intensity. That is healing. Archangel Michael is emphasizing that this closure is necessary for your next level. You cannot carry unresolved weight into expanded territory. You cannot build confidently while secretly doubting your foundation. So heaven is closing the gap. April 19th becomes the moment where what once confused you begins to make sense. Not every detail will be explained, but the outcome will speak clearly enough. And here is something even more profound. You are no longer seeking validation from the places that once withheld it. That hunger has weakened. You are not chasing approval the way you once did. You are not proving your worth the way you once tried to. That shift happened quietly. It happened when you realized that peace feels better than recognition. It happened when you chose alignment over applause. It happened when you stopped explaining yourself to those committed to misunderstanding you. Archangel Michael is affirming that this inner detachment prepared you for outer elevation. Because if this blessing had arrived while you were still seeking validation, you might have misused it to impress others. Now you will use it to fulfill purpose. That is growth. The good news approaching you carries maturity within it. It meets a version of you that is stable, aware, and less reactive. That stability is what will allow this momentum to continue rather than collapse. But listen carefully. With closure often comes temptation. The temptation to revisit what once hurt you. The temptation to reopen conversations that no longer matter. The temptation to look back and measure how far you have come. Reflection is healthy. Regression is not. Do not step backward emotionally just because you feel stronger now. Let the past remain where it belongs. April 19th is not an invitation to relive former chapters. It is an invitation to step fully into a new one. And as you move forward, your voice will carry more weight. Your presence will carry more clarity. Decisions that once felt overwhelming will now feel manageable. This is the fruit of healing. Archangel Michael has not only guarded your blessing, he has guarded your transformation. And now I must speak directly to you again. If this message has been guiding you step by step, if it has strengthened your faith and clarified your season, then do not remain silent in this moment. Like this message so others standing at their turning point can encounter it. Share it with someone who needs closure as much as breakthrough. Comment boldly about the shift you are experiencing, because your declaration reinforces your alignment. Subscribe and stay connected, because what is unfolding here is not random content. It is a spiritual unfolding that continues layer by layer. And what comes next will connect even more deeply to your personal journey, so remain attentive. Now understand this final layer of today's revelation. The closure you are experiencing is creating space for vision. When emotional clutter clears, vision sharpens. You will begin to see possibilities instead of problems. You will imagine outcomes instead of obstacles. April 19th is not just ending something. It is clearing your sightline. Archangel Michael is declaring that clarity is your new companion. Confusion at its season, doubt at its moment. But now clarity leads. And when clarity leads, confidence follows. You are not stepping into the next season uncertain. You are stepping in aware. Aware that divine timing works. Aware that endurance produces elevation. Aware that what is meant for you cannot bypass you. The good news approaching you is not fragile. It is established. It is not temporary. It is foundational. And what unfolds next will reveal how this foundation supports something even greater than you originally imagined. Awakened one, as we move deeper into this unfolding revelation, you must understand that April 19th was never meant to stand alone. It was a marker, yes, a moment of visible confirmation. But what it truly represents is establishment. Archangel Michael is now revealing that what began as good news is becoming solid ground beneath your feet. There is a difference between receiving a blessing and being established in it. Many people experience moments of favor, but they are not rooted deeply enough to sustain them. What is happening in your life now is different. This shift carries stability. It carries structure. It carries endurance. The reason for this is simple. You were built before you were blessed. In the waiting season, you develop patience. In the confusing season, you develop discernment. In the quiet season, You develop resilience. Those qualities are not temporary emotions, they are pillars. And now those pillars are supporting what is arriving. Archangel Michael is emphasizing that stability is the true miracle. The excitement of good news will pass, but the structure it creates will remain. That is why this moment feels different from previous breakthroughs. It does not feel fragile. It feels grounded. You may even sense a shift in how you think about the future. Where you once felt cautious or hesitant to plan too far ahead, now you feel permission to build. You are thinking in longer timelines. You are envisioning sustainable growth. That shift in perspective is part of the establishment. April 19th opened the door. Now you are stepping fully into the room. And within this room, there is responsibility, but it does not feel heavy. It feels fitting. The opportunities that arise now align with who you have become. You are not pretending. You are not performing. You are simply operating from maturity. Archangel Michael stands at this stage not only as protector, but as witness. He has watched your transformation from uncertainty to clarity. He has seen your private prayers, your silent endurance, your quiet decisions to stay aligned even when it cost you comfort. Now heaven responds with reinforcement. Reinforcement of confidence. Reinforcement of direction. Reinforcement of identity. There is something powerful about identity being reinforced. When you know who you are, opportunities no longer intimidate you. When you know your value, rejection no longer defines you. When you know your calling, distractions lose their appeal. That is what is happening now. The good news that arrived was not only an event. It was a declaration that you are no longer in transition. You are established. However, there is one more layer to understand. Establishment attracts visibility. As your footing becomes firm, others will begin to notice. Not because you are seeking attention, but because stability stands out in a world of instability. Your calm will be noticed. Your clarity will be recognized. Your decisions will carry influence. Archangel Michael is reminding you to remain humble in this visibility. Let your actions speak louder than your announcements. Let consistency speak louder than excitement. Because this season is not about proving anything. It is about embodying what you have already become. There may also be moments where you are tempted to compare your journey with others. Do not do that. Your path was designed specifically for you. The timing, the delays, the breakthroughs, the lessons, all of it was tailored to your development. April 19th was your marker, not someone else's. Stay focused on your lane. Stay grateful for your growth. The structure forming around you now is not temporary scaffolding. It is foundation. You are building something that will endure beyond a single season. And that endurance requires consistency. Continue the disciplines that strengthen you. Continue the mindset that matured you. Continue the gratitude that grounded you. Archangel Michael is declaring that what has been established will not be easily shaken. The storms that once felt overwhelming will now feel manageable. The uncertainties that once frightened you will now feel navigable. Because you are not the same person anymore. You are steadier. You are clear. You are stronger. And as this establishment settles into place, the final revelation will reveal how all of this connects to a divine invitation. Not just to receive, not just to build, but to step fully into your role in a way that changes how you see yourself forever. Chosen and established one, this is the moment where everything comes together. April 19th was never just about good news. It was never just about relief, restoration, or even opportunity. It was about revelation. a revelation of who you are becoming and the authority you now carry. Archangel Michael is standing at the completion of this cycle, declaring that what has unfolded was divinely orchestrated from the beginning. You thought you were waiting for something to arrive, but heaven was waiting for you to be ready. And now readiness and release have met. The good news that moved toward you faster than you realized was not simply a gift. It was a sign that you are trusted with more, a sign that your endurance has matured into leadership, a sign that your private growth has qualified you for public impact. Look at how far you have come. You no longer react the same way. You no longer doubt the same way. You no longer shrink the same way. The version of you that once questioned everything had been replaced by someone who discerns. The version of you that once chased validation hath been replaced by someone who walks in quiet confidence. The version of you that once feared loss hath been replaced by someone who trusts divine timing. A transformation is the true miracle. Archangel Michael is revealing that April 19th was a spiritual checkpoint, a divine confirmation that you are aligned, protected, and positioned. What arrived as good news was only the surface expression of a deeper covenant. You are no longer in survival mode. You are in stewardship mode. That means you build wisely. You protect your peace intentionally. You move with discernment. You speak with clarity. You do not allow distractions to pull you back into old emotional cycles, because you have crossed over. And here is the final revelation. What you experienced was not just for this season. It was training for greater assignments ahead. The stability you now feel will allow you to carry heavier blessings without collapsing. The clarity you now hold will allow you to make bolder decisions without fear. The confidence you now embody will allow you to step into rooms you once felt unqualified for. Archangel Michael declares that you are not stepping into uncertainty anymore. You are stepping into calling, and calling requires courage. But you are ready. The good news that came toward you was proof that heaven moves with precision, that delays are strategic, that silence is shaping, that endurance is never wasted. So as you stand at this completed threshold, do not look back with regret. Look forward with authority. April 19th was your awakening. From this point forward, you move differently. You pray differently. You expect differently. Because now you have evidence. Evidence that you are heard. Evidence that you are guided. Evidence that you are protected. Archangel Michael remains near, not because danger surrounds you, but because destiny does. And destiny requires covering. So lift your head. Strengthen your posture. Guard what has been entrusted to you. Walk boldly into what unfolds next. Now seal this moment with a declaration. Type "I walk in divine timing" in the comments if you receive this confirmation over your life. Blessing code 1212 has now been activated over those stepping fully into alignment. And as this sacred message comes full circle, hear this clearly. The same God who moved heaven and earth to position your April 19th breakthrough is still moving through this mission. When you sow into this work through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are not giving to a channel. You are fueling a river of living water that reaches souls on the edge of giving up. The Lord declares, "Give, and it shall be given unto you." This is not a suggestion. It is a living covenant. I say this with intention so you feel the weight of it. I will be part of spreading this light. When you act on that conviction, you release seed into fertile spiritual ground. As you sow, may oil overflow in your house. As you give, may doors open before you knock. As you support this mission, may heaven accelerate what concerns you. Step forward in obedience. So now, activate your harvest. The door has opened. Walk through it with confidence.